Teacher apathy absolutely was the biggest, like the most frequent thing that we talked about, so that makes sense that I would focus there. Okay, so for your paper, you have your annotated bibliography. Open it up. Look at your annotated bibliography. And on the sample paper, I'm gonna write out kind of the steps that I think are the best for you to go through to make this research paper from your annotated bibliography, right? So when you were researching, what did you search? Not like the actual topics, but what are they called?
Like questions to tie into it?
So your research question, and then also when you're actually typing the terms into the search, what's that called? Say it again. Research.
I don't understand your question.
So I'm just looking for, whenever you were looking in the research, you typed in like your big keywords, right? Keywords or topics, yes?
I thought of like questions. Like I did like questions.
You typed in questions?
Yeah.
And you found sources with full questions?
Yeah. Like related to maybe.
I wonder how your research would have changed if you just typed in big ideas instead of questions.
Like they were related to it. Like I just made it like a question, so I found like more. I don't know.
Until you found enough information to go with.
Yeah.
Okay. So for our annotated bibliography, after doing all of your research, you've read a lot, right? How many pages did you read? Did you count?
No.
But probably over 100 pages, easily, right? If you did the 2 scholarly papers, 40 papers plus another 5 sources, many minutes of videos that you watched. Were your videos like 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Were they shorter?
Probably
Shorter?
Like a little bit shorter than 10 or like over 10.
Okay, so overall, probably you read, what do you think? 10,000 words? Probably more. So, if you were thinking about what you read, you should at this point have big ideas that you know you want to prove or that you saw over and over again, right? Big ideas that you know or that you remember seeing that you know will be key claims for your research. So, I want you to type your working thesis statement. And I'm gonna make this a new page. I'm actually gonna make it a new page. Okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna say this. Of all the problems in education, one that may cause the most damage is teacher burnout. Is this the best thesis statement I could come up with? No. Is it a workable thesis statement for right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so now I want you to make a list of 5 to 10 claims You're cold?
There's like a little bit of cold.
I mean, it did get cold. Alright, make a list of 5 to 10 claims, big ideas that you know to be true after completing your annotated bibliography, or any word that you know needs to be defined. So, for this paper, what is a possible idea that I need to define from my thesis, from my working thesis right now? Of all the problems in education, one that may cause the most damage is teacher burnout. What, if anything, will I need to define from this sentence? Or should I define?
Maybe other problems in education.
Teacher burnout, and then Adia, what did you say?
Like other problems in education that can relate to teachers burning out.
So I might want to do that before I get here, right? That would be part of the pre-work that I would do before my thesis in my bigger introduction. Okay, so I definitely want to define teacher burnout. I'm gonna highlight that because it is a big idea that I definitely have to fill in. So look at your thesis statement. Are there any big ideas that you have to define from your thesis?
Like what causes teacher burnout? What causes teacher burnout?
Okay, yeah, what causes teacher burnout? Or causes of teacher burnout? Why can I don't wanna highlight it.
The effects that it takes on teachers.
The effects of teacher burnout on what? Who does it affect or what does it affect?
Students and
Students.
their families.
Who else is, or what else does it affect?
The efficiency of learning.
Say it again.
The efficiency of learning, instruction.
The efficiency of
Instruction.
What other big ideas or claims will I likely need to make? This is 3.
Results or
Like that's probably like why teachers are quitting.
quantifiable impact it has on learning.
Isn't that this? On what?
Oh, then like the evidence, or you don't put that in?
I'll put the evidence in these paragraphs, right? Or not in these paragraphs, I haven't talked about that yet, but in my mind, as you come up with these big claims that you're gonna make, after you have 5 to 10 major claims that you can make, you're gonna go through your sources and you're going to give at least 2 sources for each claim that you can rely on. Does that make sense? So that so right now, what you've done is a lot of reading about a topic, right? So now you're gonna make a list of 5 to 10 claims that you can make based on the research that you've done. And for each claim, how many sources do you need to support or use? At least 2. That way you are synthesizing your research as you go and not just summarizing claim by claim. Does that make sense? Because the inclination will be to summarize claim by claim. Or I'm sorry, to summarize source by source. But what I want you to do is synthesize claim by claim by using the 2 sources that you pull out. So you're going to make a list of 5 to 10 claims that you know to be true. At least 2 sources. And then those are gonna be the 2 sources that you use to write your body paragraphs. Does that make sense? Okay, so do you have your 5 to 10 claims that you can make from your research about your own topic?
Yes.
Yes? Did you actually write them down?
I didn't write it down, but
So put them on paper, like let's get them out onto the document so that you know what they are. Because sometimes I'm like, yes, I do know what I'm gonna do. And then whenever I sit down to do it, I cannot do it. And that's devastation. then as you have your sources, that is when you can have your annotated bibliography open and you can go and swipe your summaries and explanations to help build your body paragraphs. Does that make sense?